Hulk, weirdly, no prosthetics for the Hulk, but green suit.
Yes, a new prosthetic.
So you just wear the green
People
suit.
ask me all the time, like, how long did you have to stay in the makeup chair for that? I'm telling you, all the time, they ask me that. Did you have to work out for that?
But are you aware of all the concern online amongst the Mark Ruffalo fans about what the finished Hulk would look like?
I know all my fans by name.
Mm-hmm. So you know...
All 7 of them.
You know their worries. You know their concerns. You know their worries. No, there was a lot of concern amongst the Mark Ruffalo fans that the Hulk would not retain his beautifully hirsute chest. Oh. They thought he might be hairless. Oh. But happily, the Hulk has got some hair on.
It's the first Hulk in the history of movie making. All 3 movies.
Yeah.
That all 2 of them now. Yeah. Where the Hulk has body hair.
Wow. It's a revolution, Meryl. It's a revolution.
It's really. Yeah. We're doing some groundbreaking work.
Setting.
Well, you're probably familiar then, Mark, since you are a campaigner for the hairy chest. You're probably familiar with there's a site called Hairy Chests I Want to Cry On. Have you heard of this?
There is not.
There really is. There really is.
Your producing team made me aware of that, yes.
Yeah. So, you are front and center on this. There you are. I have to say, you look really like Lenny Kravitz.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's not me.
Is that really not you?
That's Lenny Kravitz.
Is it really Lenny? No.
No, that's me.
That is you. Don't mess with my head. The person, whoever posted this, put a little comment on the side. Mark Ruffalo, more like Mark Buffalo. Look at that hairy hide. Speaking of Buffalo, I want to drive his body to the verge of extinction.
What was that person's name?
How many auditions do you think you did before you got a job?
Well, it's sort of been mythologized now, but it started with about 600.
Wow.
Most people, smart people, quit when it takes that long.
What was giving you hope?
I couldn't do anything else.
But you've done a lot of theatre, haven't you, over the years?
That's right.
Yeah. And sometimes incredibly convincing performances. Didn't you, like,
Sometimes more than others.
Yeah, didn't you, like, cross a line in it? Was it your fault that you crossed the line? Or was it somebody set you up?
Oh, you're talking about that.
Yes.
There was a play that I did that I had to... I smoked a joint in the first scene. And, of course, there was a very naughty young actor I was in the play with who, on the opening night with all the critics...
So the opening night?
He slipped a real joint onto the prop table. And I'm out there, and I'm just... Now, when you're acting, you overdo everything. So, when you're out at a party, you take 2 puffs and you say, okay, that's enough, I'm so stoned. But I was acting, and so I'm just like... I'll save it. I literally, between the 2 of us, we smoked a giant blunt on stage. And I'm like, man, I am in it tonight. I feel it. I'm on fire, man. I'm feeling it, and I... Why's that dude standing backstage laughing at me? And the kid who put the joint on the prop table is standing there going... And I just went... Oh, shit. And the girl that I was passing it to had never smoked pot in her life.
Oh, my God.
I had, up to that point, had smoked a lot of pot. So I know you haven't, and I know you have.
No, Barbs don't ever do drugs, okay? Love you, too.
We interrupt this anecdote for a message.
program.
Okay, yeah. Okay. We returned.
It was
Mark
the worst
Ruffalo.
thing I ever did. Don't do it. But at the end of the play, I got the best reviews of my entire career. But I'm not.
No, we're
It's
not.
wrong. I would never do that again. It was a nightmare experience. And for the Barbs, you're much better off listening to Nikki than me.
That's right.
Josh, what have your fear? What are you afraid of?
Well, I was going to go with flying, but I think I'll go with...
Girls over 12?
Come back here, Mark Ruffalo. Come back here, Mark Ruffalo.
I feel terrible. I don't know what came over me.
I'm not going to lie to you. The last minute of my life, I wouldn't have predicted that. How was it, Mark Ruffalo? You're not going to believe what he said to me. But he was bang on the money. He's a very perceptive man.
It was the Dora poem.
Don't try and justify it.
You were a bartender, and I just love the idea. You would be such a good bartender, Mark Ruffalo.
Thank you.
A generous... don't you know he'd do a generous pour? He would always do a generous pour, Mark Ruffalo.
I would do a generous.
Yeah.
Mostly because people would be like, come on, man. Really?
But no, but didn't you... You had your own cocktail.
I had the margarita. and
We're
really,
gone with Ruffalo, but no, margarita.
but I ended up having, you know, I'd start early and I'd have my Thursday night crowd.
Yeah.
Partially because, and I'm sorry, Sean McPherson, wherever you are, I gave away a lot of free drinks. It wasn't a great quality in a bartender.
But you were good dealing with drunk customers, which is
I had to deal with a lot of drunk people, yes. And sometimes they were not very nice.
Oh, no.
There'd be nights where I'd be up to my eyeballs in a-holes. I'm
saying nothing.
Should I keep going?
I don't know what
That's supposed to mean. What? Wait, what? What did I say?
Nothing.
Is that a spoiler?
No.
Is everyone...
No. Nothing.
Is Marvel gonna call me?
No. So, no, wasn't there a guy who wanted... wasn't there a drunk guy...
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. Wasn't there a drunk guy?
It wasn't that kind of bar.
Wasn't there a drunk guy who wanted sambuca?
Yes, there was.
Okay, so tell us about him.
So occasionally, you would get someone who was so obnoxious, and it was the end of the night, and this guy came in, and he's like, all right, and he was wasted, and he was such an a-hole. And he's like, I want a Zambuca. I'm like, come on, man. You're doing okay. He's like, give me a Zambuca. And...
Did he hit his knee like that? Was that the bar?
I thought, yeah.
Give me a Zambuca. I'm like, okay. So I pour him the Zambuca. Light it! I'm not gonna light your drink, man. I don't like drinks. Okay, you wanna light your drink, you light your drink yourself. Light it! Okay. I light the drink. He takes it. And it goes all over his face, dripping down his face, blue flames everywhere. And I'm trying not to laugh. And he beats the hell out of himself to get it out. Give me another! Oh, sure thing. You want me to light it for you? Yes! Say same thing all over again. It was one of the greatest nights.
I sort of like him for having another one.
I loved him. He walked out with like a flaming red goatee.
Oh, that brings back a really painful memory.
It was you?
No.
When I was 40, when I turned 40, I was offered 3, which is in 1 year.
Oh.
And it was sending me a signal, I felt, about Hollywood and how they felt about people turning 40. You know? So I felt bad, and it made me sort of, I had my backup, you know, and so, no, I didn't want to play them.
So a lot's changed in the last 5 years for you.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
Mark. Good.
You're right. Nice smell.
I was looking for an excuse all night. Yeah.
That was so smooth, Mark Ruffalo. So smooth.
It never works like that.